The Fibonacci tool is used as a measurement more than an indicator. We do since we understood where the market is trying to go, where we want to execute, what's the next step forward, right? Welcome back to another YouTube video of FlareFX, where we make trading very simple. Now in today's breakdown, we'll be breaking down my favorite pair, Gbpusd, and your guys' favorite pair, gold, right? So stay tuned till the end of the video, guys. It's full of gems. You already know how we do this every single week. It's always vibes when we're all together. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're new to the family, and if not, welcome back, Flare family. It's always good to have you. Watch till the end, guys. Like, the watch hours do help with the algorithm, so if you guys manage to do that, and make sure to hit the like button as well, it helps a lot. But nonetheless, let's get into it. All right, so this is our Discord group, the Flare Trading Hub, guys. Like I said, I will be giving away 3 free mentorship spots once we get to 100 members. I think we're chilling on 97 spots, right? This is going to be announced next week's breakdown, right? So you must watch next week's breakdown to know if you did win your spot. I will DM you personally on Discord, right? And the only way for you guys to secure your spot is to post as much setups as you possibly can during the week and help other people as well. For me, if you're helping other people, it makes more sense for the entries to go higher and higher. Respond to other people's messages, help them with what you see, and post your setups as well, right? This is what you'll be getting for the guys who want to know what they will be getting. It will basically be a group mentorship. You'll join my community of experienced traders, even new individuals, where you get to learn, and you'll be involved in my weekly sessions. I do Wednesday breakdowns, are pre-recorded, and I do live market breakdowns with my team, guys. I want you to join the Flare team, and if you're showing that you can help in these types of groups, you're going to be added immediately, right? And mind you, this comes with the signals package as well, so you'll be getting this entirely for free. This is something worth 750, and you'll be getting it for free. I'll be giving away 3 spots, and already I don't wanna tease already too much, but we already have your Blue Viking posting as much as it is. So for the guys who are seeing this now, make sure to post your setups more than anything else. All right, guys, so this is the only TikTok I have, FlareFX_. we have on 3,174 followers, close to 10k likes, guys. The love from you guys is immaculate. We're gonna move over to our Instagram, but this is flare.fx_. The main reason I'm doing this, guys, is because we have a lot of fraudsters. This is the only Instagram account I have. Make sure that you are not scammed. Anything that I'm gonna be doing for you, make sure to ask for a voice note, which I already will send whenever you want my mentorship, right? Make sure to ask me in the link in the description. Nonetheless, let's get into the breakdown. So let me just get everything back to check. So like I said, I've been breaking down Nasdaq and gold for the past, I think, 5 weeks. You guys have been loving it. I've seen a lot of reactions, so I'm gonna bring back a bit of the currency pairs. I'm just waiting for you guys to reach the 500 subscribers, and then the beauty will start there. That's when I can introduce more pairs, more concepts, right? I want to see if you guys want this, right? If you want it, you're gonna push and subscribe, so make sure to subscribe if you like the content, right? But nonetheless, I'll bring back my drawings. I have a couple of drawings that I did drop for for Gbpusd, but I'll remove everything and start on the daily time frame, because it's a pair that we haven't looked at in a while. So we also all need to understand, what are we looking at, why are we trading this pair in and of its own, right? So with your Gbpusd, right, this pair has been buying for a while. So I just want to put it like this. I just want to break down market structure in and of its own from the higher time frame, so we can all see. So check it out. With this pair, it has made this high, right? We're looking at the most relevant high and low, and it has made this low, right? And then price has broken this structure over here, right? Like, overall higher time frame market structure, in understanding like where GBP is, we're basically looking for sales, right? Now, the main reason why I also brought it this week is because we're at a very specific zone, right? We've reached this nice area. This blue line over here is a Fibonacci retracement tool that I have, right? It marks at the 73%. So price usually retraces to that amount, and then afterwards we can see some sort of reaction, right? So for the guys who love to trade your currency pairs, this is the best time to be looking at your Gbpusd. The main reason I'm saying this is because it is in a place of where we can sell it, right? And what do I mean by this, right? So understanding that this is the 73% zone, right? I'll bring this tool. I don't want to confuse you guys too much and clutter my charts, so I want you to pay attention and follow with me, right? This tool that I'm using basically highlights the premium and discount, right? So if we're on a downtrend, we'd want to be selling price at a premium zone, and if we're on an uptrend, we'd want to be buying price at a discounted zone, right? So in this instance with your GBPUSD, we are currently sitting on where? We're currently sitting at the premium zone. Meaning, if we're on an uptrend and we're sitting on the premium, we would want to what? To sell, right? So now I'm going to remove this thing so we understand that we're at a very significant zone in terms of GBPUSD. Understanding that, right, makes things easier for us to understand that we could be in a potential of selling this pair, right? But now here's where things get really nice and get really tricky. Now you need to ask yourself, where am I going to be selling this pair? What are the confirmations I'm seeing that this pair wants to sell, right? In this zone that we've just highlighted. I'll even bring it back. We'll just leave this gray box inside so we can understand that this is the selling zone, right? So going to the 4-hour time frame, already you can see that within this zone over here, we need to see some sort of reaction within here, right? And for me, if it's a change of character, it's something beautiful that I like to see. And this is already happening on the 4-hour time frame, right? Time frame really matters, guys. The time frame you're on genuinely matters, especially when you're looking at currency pairs or whether you're looking at indices, right? The higher the time frame confirmation, the higher and the more momentum the currency pair or the index is going to move. Now, in this instance, if you could take a look over here, this is GBPUSD on the 4-hour time frame, right? We've highlighted that there's a change of character that just initially happened, that the week just transpired, right? Boom, we just had a change of character, meaning that the trend has wanting to be reversed, like trend wants to reverse basically, right? So now there's a lot of confirmations before we even go to the lower time frames, right? We were already playing on the higher time frame. Sorry, my mic is just tripping. We're already playing on the higher time frames. On the daily time frame, we've already seen that, okay, cool, we're at a very premium zone, so it makes sense for us to sell price, right? When we go over to the 4-hour time frame, we can already see that there's a change of character initiating or hinting to us that price wants to start reversing. Can you already see the types of confluences I look for especially when I'm trading, right? So now you need to ask yourself, okay, cool, since we are at in the premium zone and price has changed character, what is the next step forward? The next step forward is to be looking for what? For selling opportunities. Now in this instance, what I love to see, or what I've seen with GBPUSD, is that price is already purged liquidity over here, right? By purged liquidity means money has been raided or stop losses have been taken, hence why we have this nice momentum pushing all the way to the downside, right? So for me, since I like to swing, especially these days, especially with the way the market's been moving, I come in and I put my Fibonacci tool all the way to the top over there and all the way to the downside, and it initially highlights what? This zone over here, right? I'll remove this gray box that we have because it does inflict a lot of things, but I just pull this tool all the way to the downside and it's already highlighting this zone over here, right? This is a 73% zone, right? And also you need to also take the time to look what's happening on the right. Maybe you guys might not see it very well. Let me just put it like this, right? Prices came to this zone over here, right? Let me just move this thing all the way to the far right so you guys can also see what I'm talking about, right? So psychological numbers actually do play a role, especially with currency pairs, right? So come in and I just round it up, right? Boom boom boom, we'll do 30,000 straight like that. Oof. You see, so now understanding that the 30,000 mark is a very significant zone, we can anticipate price to reverse over here as well, right? I'll push back price like that. So I just wanted you guys to see what I'm looking at, right? So there's a lot of confluences I look for, especially with currencies. Would I classify myself as like a currency specialist? Yes and no, but I've been trading these markets consistently for close to 3 years, right? And I've seen a lot of patterns and a lot of things to help me understand, right? So now, Mr. Flair, what do we do since we understood where the market's trying to go, where we want to execute? What's the next step forward, right? So for me personally, I would come in and put my sell limit order relative over here and my stop loss just above the high, right? Now, all of you guys could be looking at this order block over here and you could take it. Nobody's stopping you guys. This is very good as well. It's a very good entry, especially for GBPUSD, right? So for my swing traders, the guys that don't mind holding the positions very long term, you could take it on this zone over here. right, where I've highlighted on the 73% zone. Price usually retraces to that point and it's gonna tap us in and push all the way to the downside, right? Holding this pair could be a very good thing, especially to the downside over here, right? You need to understand that there's multiple places where price could react off. What I mean by this is, like, take a look at this, right? Price could push all the way to the top over here, respect this zone over here, and then push all the way to the downside to respect this zone over here, because it's a level of demand, right? Price could respect that, push all the way to the top to respect the demand zone that we printed over here, just to keep on moving down. You get what I mean? And that's how price genuinely moves, with impulses and corrections. For the guys that trade those types of strategy, you need to understand that supply zones and demand zones do have a major implication on the market, right? So allowing that to happen in your trading and really implementing it really changes a lot of things, right? So I'm gonna remove what I just drew. Right, for me, it's very clean, very straightforward. This is like a 1:2.9, basically, like a 1:3. You could just play around with the numbers to make it a fixed 1:3, right? But like looking at it in and of its own, that's close to 116 pips in terms of catching, and then that's close to 39 pips in terms of a stop loss, right? Simple, nice to trade, guys. You could hold this thing for a very long time, all the way to the downside, depending on what you like, right? But now let's move over to your gold. So this is gold on the daily time frame. I'll remove all the drawings. We'll start it all over together. So check this out, right? So this is gold on the daily time frame. Like I said, guys, currency pairs, your indices, gold, your Nasdaq, regardless of whatever it is, the higher the time frame and the higher the confirmation you do get, the more easy it is for you to trade these types of things. These things move with long-term moves, right? Yes, you could catch the intraday moves, but wouldn't it be nice to hold an indice for a very long time and reap the benefits of not being in the trades and consistently stress, right? It takes a lot of time, but you can definitely do it. So check this out. We'll start off by drawing market structure in and of its own, so you can understand the beauty of this. So we have a high over here, we have a low over here, and we have a high over here. This high was also relatively there, right? We can see that price pushed all the way to, okay, let's start from here. Price pushed all the way to the top, we're told it to the bottom, printed this high, we're told that the top printed this high, pushed all the way to the downside. So we are anticipating that, okay, cool, maybe price wants to keep on pushing lower and lower, right? Price failed to break this low. If it had broken this low, I would have looked for sales and really marinated this thing, right? But that didn't happen. We trade what we see, not what we think. Price presumed to push all the way to the top. I'll highlight this as a high, and then price pushed all the way to the downside and highlighted this as a low. Price failed to break this low, right? So we'll classify this as the new strong low, right? So we can already see that, okay, cool, gold wants to keep on buying. Gold further pushed all the way to the top and even broke both of these highs, right? We can already see that buyers are in here as hard as we can see. So we can classify this as a what? As a change of character. Boom, right? So I'll remove all of these things because I'm slowly understanding what the market structure is telling us, and it's telling us, okay, cool, we're buying higher and higher, right? So now price came all the way to the top, made this high over here, right? Would I say it broke it? No, right? Because it just wigged a bit, right? Then price proceeded to push a low and then pushed all the way to the top, right? So we can classify this as our most prevalent low. Everything will make sense once we go where? On the 4-hour time frame, right? But already, me understanding that, okay, cool, for gold, we're looking for buys, right? I could take this and push it all the way to the top over here, right? We can go to the 4-hour time frame, right? Now, one thing I also want to mention about the Fibonacci, guys, is that the Fibonacci tool is used as a measurement more than an indicator. You don't take a Fibonacci retracement tool and be like, yes, this is where I'm going to execute. It's basically used as a measurement tool to understand how far price can retrace. That's hence why we call it a Fibonacci retracement tool, right? If we know price is going to be buying, we just want to know or understand how far it's going to retrace, how deep it's going to retrace, right? And usually it's what? Between your 71 and your 75%, right? That's the point we want to be buying price. Now, take a look at this as well, right? Like I mentioned, if price wants to buy, we'd want to buy it at a very discounted price. Look at it as the market in and of its own. If something is high or something is in high demand, would you want to buy it when it's sky high in terms of pricing, or do you want to buy it when it's low, right? And it's the same thing. anything that is on a discount would want to buy, and everything that's on a premium would want to sell, right? And that's the same thing that works with your indices, with your gold, with your GBPUSDs, right? Where we see gold right now, gold has just entered the discounted zone. It would make sense for you to be buying gold right now, mainly because of where we are, right? I'm not an investment advisor, guys. Make sure to understand that, because I know legally I'm supposed to be saying these types of things, but you as a person need to understand as well, like, any risk that you take is based on you. I'm just giving you a perspective on the view on the market, so you just take that into consideration, right? But what I'm saying with my knowledge is that you would never want to buy something at its premium price. You'd want to sell it at its premium. We understand that gold is what it's selling, or we want to buy gold eventually. And now we've gotten to a point where gold has passed by the equilibrium and has gotten into the discounted zone, right? So using the Fibonacci as well, with the premise of premium and discount pricing, right, we could come in and execute based off of this point and push it all to the top. I prefer to take these types of trades because I don't like to stress about the minute details. For me, I'm more so focusing on like funded accounts, you know what I mean? So things like trades like this make so much sense for me to take, because I psychologically I'm not as affected as a trade that I would take on the 1 hour time frame and my stop loss being tied. For me, I'd let price come in, play around, and then I'd know, if I know where gold is, if I know gold is at a what is this, it's at a discounted price, I want to be buying at this point, whether it keeps on selling or whatever that happens. I know eventually it's gonna buy because it's at its discounted price, right? And I have the opportunity and the leverage of being in a position where I can risk as much as I want in terms of the funded, guys. If you guys want a video on like how to thingy manage your funded accounts, I will put the link on top over here. I've been trading the funded as well, but nonetheless, I'll even give you a strategy if you guys want. Make sure to comment funded, and then if maybe I can get 5 comments, and then I'll make sure that I do post those types of videos. But for gold, I will be holding it. If it does come into the zone over here, I wouldn't mind pushing it all the way to the top over here, basically to 2,500 ounces, because that's where we are still knocking at. Let me just highlight it again. Like here, why doesn't it 2,500? Yes, like here, 2,500 ounces is definitely where I want to be taking this. Even push it all the way to the far right. Also, you guys should just highlight this on your charts, push it all the way to the top. But yeah, that is a 1:3. It could probably take us maybe 2 weeks for gold to get to this high, but just make sure that you're already in a good zone. NFP is probably gonna push price all the way to the top anyways. So that's how I view the upcoming week, guys. But nonetheless, if you watch till the end, and I know some of you guys do watch to the end. I think one of the guys is Muzi. I'm not sure how his name, but I know his surname is Ntuli. I do see you, bro. You've been watching all my videos. Let's push this thing, guys, to 460. Get me to 500, and I promise you, or get us to 500, and I promise you to post 3 videos every single week in terms of like, or 3 breakdowns in terms of like what I do. And also make sure to go to the Discord and comment down and post your setups if you want to win that one of those 3 spots. And already 2 of those spots look like they're taken, guys. I'm gonna be honest that these guys have been putting in their work, right? So make sure that you post as much as you possibly can to get those entries, help as much as you can, and you get you get your spot to get the funded the free mentorship. But nonetheless, it's yet another week, yet another dollar. See you next week.